Hello, I am Adriana and I'm going to share with you how to have meaningful recreation and leisure in your life and tips and tricks on how to cultivate your moments. Hello everyone, it is nice to have you guys here and I'm very excited to share this topic with you. So today I'm going to be talking about forest bathing. When I previously thought about forest bathing, maybe thought of going to a natural hot spring, going for a bath in nature. And then I saw this very funny photo, two hikers carrying a bathtub into the forest. I'll post it here. And that's kind of what I thought forest bathing was, honestly. And I was humbled to find out that it is much more than that, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. To start off, I will explain what forest bathing is exactly. So it comes from a Japanese term, and the Japanese term is Shinrin-yoka, and the meaning of this is to connect with nature and to truly immerse ourselves in nature through our senses. And with these senses, they talk about 6 senses. I only had previously thought of 5 senses. So that's your sight, your smell, the sounds around you, your touch, and your taste. They bring it into another one and talk about your state of mind. To break the senses down a bit, when you think of nature, you can kind of paint a picture around what you can see. And with our senses, we can really not just paint a picture, but create a story around it. Thinking about what we can see in nature. For myself, when I think about nature, I think about mountains or trees, or maybe some form of water, maybe a stream. Depending on what kind of nature you're thinking about, the sound, the smell, all of your senses can be very different. So the last one is the state of mind. When we're connecting with nature, maybe our state of mind has changed a little bit. Maybe our pace has slowed down a little bit. And we're able to appreciate and connect with nature just that much more. Next, I'm going to be talking about practicing forest bathing and the benefits, why you would want to practice forest bathing. So before I get into the researchy kind of benefits, I'm going to talk about my own benefits that I've noticed. Some benefits I've noticed is typically I'm a very big busybody. I'm always going, and even going on a walk, I look at nature and notice the little changes in nature. I'm really deepening my connection and appreciation for nature. Like I said, I'm also slowing my pace and finding more calmness in my life by recognizing that it's okay to have a little bit more slow pace and focus on one thing at a time, instead of spreading myself thin. Now to get into more of the research behind forest bathing, which there is lots of. It has been shown to increase concentration and memory, improve immunity through the soil, increase energy and improved sleep, decrease stress hormones, decrease feelings of depression and anxiety, also decreasing those stress hormones in our body and allowing us to feel more calm and be okay with having more of a slowed down pace. I found a quote and I really want to share it with you guys. It says, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." It's by Lei Tzu. I butchered that pronunciation. I deeply apologize. And with this, we can really think of this new slowed down pace has allowed me to appreciate all the things that come with each task, which I really find beautiful. Next, I'm going to be talking about how to practice forest bathing. And I'm going to be breaking it down into 2 categories. One being practicing forest bathing outside, and the other being practicing forest bathing inside, because some of us are still stuck at home and I want it to be accessible to everyone. When we think of practicing forest bathing outside, we can think about going for a walk or going into the park and engaging our senses in nature and recognizing all of the different sensory stimulations that nature provides. We could meditate in nature. Maybe we're sitting on the ground instead of sitting on a yoga mat, or maybe we're doing yoga in nature. The book mentions doing the mountain pose. That's when you're standing straight up and you have your arms out and by your side, and you have a nice, strong, and tall posture. They also mention 2 really interesting ones. One is a forest bathing tea ceremony where they're just having tea and a little picnic outside in nature. And they do mention also making your own tea. And another thing they mention is green exercise. So doing exercise in nature. And now inside. So for myself, I really love to incorporate nature in my house. And I also have one houseplant. Pretty proud of it. I can't keep plants, so it's very exciting to keep one. One of the recommendations that is mentioned is having indoor plants, having that in a sense to appreciate the nature around us. Another thing they mention is watching nature documentaries, having pictures of nature in your household, using aromatherapy, whether it be essential oils, maybe it's candles, or even reed sticks that are natural smells. Essential oils are really great for this, as all of them are distilled plants. Another idea is to reminisce on a time you were in nature, trying to remember the different senses you felt in nature. I have two other ones. One other one is reminiscing on the changes from season to season in nature. And the last one is a guided meditation through your senses that is connecting you with nature, which is what we're going to do next. Now we're going to do a guided meditation. Any of you aren't familiar with meditation, I'll put a link below just to explain some benefits and what meditation is. One thing I will brief everyone with is shortly I'll encourage you guys to close your eyes. If you're not comfortable doing this, that's okay. You can either soften your gaze, looking at the floor, or you can look at a picture and create a story of your senses around that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll have my picture posted right here while I'm explaining, and then it will be the full picture to explain my image for those who are tuning in on a podcast. There is a meandering stream starting at the base of the mountain and making its way through lush green evergreen trees in late spring. There's a fog overhead from the precipitation in the mountains, with one large rock emerging from the river. Now I'm going to start my meditation. With this, I'm going to guide you guys through your senses. If you do not want to participate in this meditation, I completely understand that. Just look in the show notes and I will tag where my book recommendation starts. And I respect your opinions and decisions. So when everyone is ready, I encourage you to find somewhere nice and comfy. You can either be seated or you can be laying down. It's whatever you would like. Now I encourage you guys to close your eyes or soften your gaze. I'm now going to put some music on, just in order for us to connect with our senses and connect with the sounds of nature. Maybe you are creating a story around the sound if you're driving or not tuning in to the visual. I ask you guys to first begin with a nice little breathing technique of deepening your breath in order for you to connect with nature and the pace nature is in. So first I'm going to get you to breathe in very deeply and then exhale. 2 more times, breathing in and out. And 1 more time, breathing in and out. Now that we've tuned into a little bit more of a calm state, I'm going to ask you guys to create a story, starting with your visual, what a calming place in nature looks like to you. Depending on where your favorite place in nature is, it might look different to you. Now, what can you hear? Depending on your place, this could be somewhere where you hope to go one day, or one of your favorite places in nature. When you think about that place, what can you hear? Maybe you can hear birds chirping. For my story, I can hear a stream rushing through rocks and then a small waterfall trickling through. Now in your place, what can you smell? Maybe it just rained, or there's an ocean nearby. What does that smell like to you? For myself, I smell the freshness of the air. That leads me into the freshness of the taste of it. in your nature senses story. What can you taste? Next, we're going to move to the feeling. In this place of nature, what can you feel? Maybe you're near an ocean and you feel that nice warm ocean breeze. Maybe you're near a glacier stream. You stick your hand in, you can feel the chilling coldness of it. So what does nature feel like to you? I encourage you guys to take some more deep breaths. So breathing in and out. 2 more times. Breathing in and out. And 1 more time. And out. Now lastly, let's talk about how this nature story makes you feel. Do you feel maybe more connected to nature? Do you feel a slowed pace? How does your nature story make you feel? Now, when you're ready, start by wiggling your toes, and then maybe your hips, your fingers, just feeling the sensations of their movements. Maybe you're wearing socks, and you can feel the socks with your toes. Now I ask you to lift your shoulders up, roll them back, and up, and back. Maybe doing this a few times just to awaken your body. Now, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I invite you guys to ask yourself how you're feeling after that, and if you're feeling a little bit more calm or connected to nature. How are you feeling? I have a quote that says, "By connecting with nature, we are also given the time and space to connect with ourselves." In this time and space, do you feel like you have connected with yourself as well? Now that kind of calmed everyone down, calmed myself down, I'm going to do my book recommendation. I cannot recommend this book enough, called ForestBathing: How Trees Can Help You Find Health and Happiness. Pretty much all of my resources I got today was from this book. This book really allowed me to deepen my connection and interest with forest bathing and the natural world. Not only does it have lots of interesting information and practical tips, it also has beautiful images on almost every page, which is really nice. It really allows me to stay in tune with what I'm reading. One of my favorite parts about this book, although I love holistic medicine, I also really love research and evidence-based research. This book was written by someone who has their PhD. She's also the chairman of the Japanese Society of Forest Medicine, which I find really interesting and unique. I couldn't recommend this book enough if you're interested in forest bathing, or if you're just interested in learning something new, maybe allowing yourself to deepen your connection. Also, slow your pace. I'll leave all the links below. It was nice sharing one of my very strong interests with you guys. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next week, and I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and week ahead of you. Goodbye now. Thank you for letting me share some ways to cultivate your moments.